Hello there. Um, this is my coaching opportunities assignment by Philip Shapiro. So for Jimmy, his long-term goal is going to be Jimmy is a young man playing hockey at the age 18. Jimmy has goals and drive to achieve them, but to coach hockey for a living is his highest goal. In 10 years, Jimmy wants to be coaching in the National Hockey League as a pro as a it is a pro league in North America. His favorite team is Florida Panthers, and Jimmy always wanted to live in down south in Florida, to do what he loves, coaching hockey. Jimmy is willing to do anything to reach his highest goal. I think being that he hasn't started coaching yet, he is going to be taking a little bit longer than 10 years to get where he wants to be. I would For him, I would think being, maybe 26 years. Some people have been coaching hockey their whole life, like 30 years. But um, the route Jimmy's gonna go in this video, I think it's gonna be better. Jimmy's short-term goal is for Jimmy to reach his highest goal. He has to set a small run to start him out on a great path to success. He wants to start out by showing love to the athletic community by showing him so much support in hockey. Jimmy's short-term goal is to get himself in an organization for a minor hockey league and start coaching younger kids and work his way up to the midget hockey players, which are 16 and 17 years old, and win a championship to show good on his hockey record. So to look good for the next team or organization that he wants to move to. Jimmy's steps. Jimmy's steps are step one. There's 10 different steps for Jimmy's success. At age 18, join a minor hockey league association to learn from a coach the fundamentals of coaching. 2. Create a stable sports resume for all the accomplishments. I kind of want to put 1 and 2 together because you need to get accepted into the team first. 3. Work his way up to the organization and try and learn anything he can until he makes the older age of players. 4. Win a championship to show other teams he's successful. 5. Try and move on to a junior A team. 6. Spend a couple of years there. Fort Max goals to win championship for all those years. 7. After having different championships under your belt, try and go to the major junior team in the leagues like OHL or QMJHL. By this point, he's coaching junior and he wants to go to the next level after junior A. So that's going to be the OHL or the QMJHL, and he could also coach Division I hockey or the USHL in the United States. That's Division I like colleges and schools. For example, schools like Penn State or like Princeton or something like that. Those are Division I hockey teams. Why you should take those steps? When first starting out, getting into the sport, you gotta get connections and experience coaching. Those are the most important things. You won't just be able to start coaching. You gotta dream it. Jimmy says he would do anything to reach his goal. It'll take years to become someone in coaching. So the first thing you do is work your way up the ladder like any job. And those are the steps provided. Why you could do it in my town? My town I live in is a hockey town, which really helps you make contacts with other important hockey people. Like I said, you won't just be you just won't be big, you gotta make yourself big. Why I think my town is great for someone who's coaching becomes something, because we have a single A, double A team, and a triple A team. Bradford Bulldogs, junior A team. It's an outlaw league. The Bradford Rattlers and the Bradford Bulls. Great opportunities for him to make his mark and chances he'll do anything. Next is when he should do it. Once he has started by joining a hockey program. Once he has started by joining a hockey program, organization. Try and spend 5 or 6 years at every program until uh, until the NHL goal is reached. On the timeline, coaches could say the league is up to 50 years old. You produce for your team, then you won't get fired. You'll bring if you don't produce, then they bring a young guy into the team, and you won't be the coach anymore. But it's good for Jimmy because NHL teams like to bring in young coaches, project coaches, maybe not head coaches, but they'll be assistants and they learn from the head coach, and maybe they'll be a future head coach for the organization. Um, Short term, he should only be focusing 5 or 6 years spent for the organization to build coaching skills and make a name for himself. Long term, map out, catch every 5 or 6 years when he wants to move to the next level. Where to start? I live in Toronto. Toronto is a hockey city with many different ways to move on to different chances, opportunities in hockey for Jimmy. This is at age like AAA and work his way up to minor midget because that is the made it was made there. Your team has top 8 in order to place in the OHL Cup, which is a showcase for the OHL where teams come to scout players for the draft, win to make the name for himself. That's where Jimmy could make his mark to his future to the NHL. Thank you for listening.